Age of Empires 2 is a real-time strategy game that's over 2 decades old, and it's alive more than ever. Players from every corner of the globe compete at an elite level for larger than ever prize pools, and the skill has reached a peak never seen before. In a game based on medieval times, cultural history is a centerpiece of what makes the game so universally attractive. Players have the option of choosing from one of 38 entities that are based on moderately accurate historical countries and cultures. The units, bonuses, and attributes of these civs serve to highlight the attributes of each past civilization and translate to exciting, balanced gameplay. Serendipitously, the World Cup 2v2, hosted by NachoAoE and T90Official, combine the historical significances of Age of Empires with the modern patriotism, camaraderie, and unique cultures that make up our modern planet. Over 2 weeks, top players join their fellow countrymen in a thrilling tournament for patriotic bragging rights and nearly $30,000 in prize pool. And today, we will explore how and why the 2020 World Cup 2v2 was thrilling. The thrilling event started out with 32 nationalized teams representing 23 countries competing in a group stage format to determine which 8 countries will have the honor of competing for the grand prize. Of these 32 teams, some were certainly favored more than others. For one, Norway is the homeland to 2 of the greatest AoE players to ever live, the Viper and MBL, and they had a clear shot at bringing home a World Cup trophy to the Nordic Peninsula. A short trip across the Gulf of Bothnia, there was another crew looking to claim the title for themselves. Team Finland was a strong favorite, boasting 2 highly competitive teams. Finland A had the quiet but remarkable players the Max and Velez, while Finland B was compromised of the lighter Finnish personalities in Zuppi and Rubenstock. Across the pond known as the Atlantic Ocean was another strong group of contenders. Canada, led by the resilient and tactical Hera, was backed up by the silky smooth voice of AoE's de facto late-night host Slam Jam, as well as a returning legend formerly known as L-Clan Chris, who literally wrote the book on how to play AoE. With the old and new guard combined, Canada may have lacked synergy, but they had talent in troves and were predicted to make a deep run in the tourney. Just south of the Canucks, one of the hosts, T90Official, teamed up with his friends Daniel and Scotty. While they were not the most likely to win, they brought more viewership from the United States, a surprisingly underdeveloped market. Much further south, the Brazilians boasted a ludicrous roster. As a powerhouse in the community, Brazil was the only country to send a total of 6 players to the main event, and both had a legitimate shot at making a deep run. Brazil's neighbor, Argentina, also had displayed an impressive pool of talent. Perennial qualifier Nikov teamed up with the returning legend Kaposh to form a foursome team as Argentina A. FedEx, a grandmaster in chess, teamed up with his friend Monos to form Argentina B. In the Asian Pacific coast, 2 countries had 2 terrifying teams. Vietnam was spearheaded by masterminds backed in ACCM in Vietnam A, and their contemporaries Bad Boy and Song Song were also scary foes. The last, but certainly not the least of the favorites, was China. China B was led by 2 longtime legends of the game, Tim and CL, who both flourished even with somewhat antiquated playstyles. China's A team was possibly the most feared duo in the tournament. Mr. Yo, a master strategist and impeccable player, synergized amazingly well with the harbinger of chaos, Lix. Lix may not be the strongest player in the tournament, but he was certainly most feared in team format, as he would full send a delay and annoy the enemy while his teammate boomed free. Before the opponents could seek revenge against the little demon, Mr. Yo would step in with massive army control and dominate the enemy. With a long list of strong contenders, it was clear that a remarkable tournament was in the making, and with the team set, the action began with the group stage. The World Cup 2v2 group stage was quick to say the least. In 40 best-of-5 sets, only 3 went to 5 games, and over half were clean 3-0 victories. Among the annihilation, the 3 closest sets were Norway vs Vietnam B, Germany A vs Argentina A, and Poland A vs Germany B, with the former beating the latter in each. Spain A, consisting of Tato and Lan, moved on swiftly, but not without one of the greatest plays in recent memory, and possibly one of the greatest team plays in Age of Empires history. I'll let the clip do the talking.
Skirms can engage against the ARPs. Skirms can't engage against the camels. And oh, what a fight! What a crazy fight! He's relocating his whole eco right now. Oh, man. 120 military population. And now Spain's only 20 ahead with eco. Seems as though Manos spotted this. And they're just going to head over here to try and defeat Lan. On one side, anyways. I mean... Guys, Tato's still making imp skirms. Tato's getting elite rats and archer. He's also getting coinage to sling Lan back into the game. I swear to God, if Spain win this. Argentina has more eco and more military now. And Lan's going to try and wall here. Oh, tell me Lan has another villager. If Lan can stonewall this army in? Oh my God. What if Monastery quick wall? That's a new one. It's still... I mean, let's see how Elite Ratsons perform here. Oh my God. Again, they take 1 damage from each Arbalest. The camels are done. No way! Look at the military at the top! No way! And Manos is mispatrolling, is not even attacking. What is happening here? And respect to Manos. Manos says good luck next rounds. And the GGs come in, and that is one of the most ridiculous comebacks I've ever seen.
While they did move on, it was by the skin of their teeth that the Viper and MBL of Norway eked past Bad Boy and Song Song's aggressive play from Vietnam B. And this was after what can only be described as a ludicrous mockery of a game that surely led to Mayans being nerfed and losing their obsidian arrows.
Viper has more archery ranges than I have friends. Real talk. 14 archery ranges. This is ridiculous. I'm so jealous. Is that castle attacking the stone wall? Why is... Well, that castle's gone anyways. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. That castle is halfway down already because of these units. This is sickening. And now it's going to be near impossible for Yezris to fight this with knights. Oof. This is one of the stupidest strats this game has ever seen, man. Like, Mayans were already super strong before Obsidian Arrows was given to them. But to combine that with the Saracen bonus is just unbelievable. Look at this. Oh my God. How do you counter this? Hey, I love how MBL added a ram as if that was needed. Like, here, Viper, let me help you. Let me add a ram. You know something's off when siege units are worse than something firing arrows. All right, well, Draken's like, hey, Viper's back. The walls just disintegrate. And I don't know, maybe Draken at this point could start... Oh yeah, build a castle. That'll do it. That'll do it. Maybe you start slinging all your resources to Yezris. All right, the TC goes down. Now will the castle go up before it's completed? It will. Okay, sorry, I misjudged that one. Rip to the castle. This is broken, man. Meanwhile, Yezris took engagement. And Draken says, GG, well played. The GG's called. What a carry from MBL. What a ridiculous game, man. Look at the timeline. What is that?
Conversely, their German counterparts NachoAoE and Jordan stunned Argentina's top team of Nikov and Kabach to move on to the single elimination playoffs. In order to truly live up to the name of World Cup, the first round pinned fellow countrymen against each other to avoid 2 teams of the same country from meeting in the final rounds. Therefore, the A and B teams of Brazil, Vietnam, China, and Finland battled it out, and to very little surprise, the A team took each series cleanly. On the other side of the bracket, there was few surprises to speak of. The only upset of the first round was when Vinchester and his younger brother Dark took the heat to Nilly and Jordan with a clean 3-0 sweep against the favorited Germans. The Viper and NBL proved their prowess with a clean sweep over the French players Citeaux and Babo Rum, and as did the Canadian powerhouse of Harris, Slam, and Chris over the Polish Barles and Jack. And without much tension, 8 teams moved on to the quarterfinals. In the first set, Norway again looked pristine with a clean expected victory versus the Russian underdogs. In the next set, Tato and Lan of Spain absolutely stunned the rotation of Canadian players with an unexpected clean sweep. Both teams had immense talent, but it was clear the two Spaniards had synergy that was above and beyond. They even took Game 3 with the incredibly questionable combo of Goths and Cumans on Ghost Lake. Unlike the first two sets, Brazil vs Vietnam was a nail-biter. De Gaulle and Miguel won the first two matches despite an arguable civ advantage for the Vietnamese.
Mongols, crazy in post-stim, one of the best Scandinavian civs. We are seeing that right here. Almost 700 kills for De Gaulle, and he's not even at 300 deaths.
Oh God, such great control, and well, he is just happy. He goes in deep, and ACM back to, they thought they had the counter to Mongols, they thought they had the Camel Archers, but it is a team game. Paladin numbers were enough here for Miguel.
But the duo fired back to tie the series going into the final match on Ghost Lake.
The Hussars are happy to see the castle going down. They can just raid all game long now.
Oh my goodness, and most of those farms are untouched. And the GG is called! We're going to a Game 5!
With no room to spare, Miguel and De Gaulle Brazil prevailed over some very tough opponents.
But, Nilly,
You did come back 2 games to die like this?
you came back 2 games to die like this.
The final set of the quarterfinals included 2 favorites to win the 2v2 World Cup, China and Finland. Finland's Max and Velez had long been a part of elite team game antics of their home country's Team Suomi, but Mr. Yo clean macro combined with Lix's all-out aggression in a way few were willing to deal with. While Lix pestered their opponents, Mr. Yo was able to boom into massive army control and dominate essentially a 2v1 while Lix caught up economically. Fittingly, the duo defeated the Finns on their favorite and home map, Nomad, where Lix's antics were exceptionally unpredictable and brutal. And on the backs of stunning teamwork, China joined Norway, Spain, and Brazil in the semifinals. While each team had certainly earned their way this far in the tournament, it was becoming more and more clear that Norway and China were displaying an elite level that would be near impossible for their contemporaries to match. As expected, Norway moved past Spain with a score of 4-2 over their friend Tato and Lan. While the Spanish team had remarkable teamwork, they just didn't have the pressure to take such talented players, NBL and Viper, to the brink, despite their lack of preparation. In the other semifinal, China also made their way past the underdogs in Brazil, and it wasn't obvious before, it was abundantly clear now that the combination of Yo's strong macro combined with Lix's live on the edge playstyle to devastating effect. On the water map of islands, Brazil went with 2 of the best seafaring civilizations, the Japanese and Portuguese, which seemed to be a clear civ win against the landlubber Chinese picks of Celts and Teutons. However, Lix went all in by landing on the opposing island, and again their synergy prevailed in remarkable fashion. Again, Lix and Yo ended the series by eviscerating their foe on their beloved map Nomad, and moved on to face their toughest competition yet, Team Norway, in the finals. With the 2 teams set, the finals kicked off with nearly $30,000 of prize pool on the line. In the first 2 games, China looked on point, taking the matches on Arabia and Scandinavia. Norway was quick to counter in Game 3 on Apocalypse. In Game 4, Lix and Yo showed the world that Nomad was their specialty. Game 5 was another thriller, as Norway went with the very unexpected strategy of Malay's discounted elephants and Saracen's beastly archers to bring the score to 3-2. 1 game away from clinching their first 2v2 World Cup title, Mr. Yo and Lix went for their tried and true strategy on the fan favorite map Chaos Pit, Licks, using the devastating power of Inca's cheap towers and melee proficient villagers, absolutely stunned the Norwegians by disrupting their economies like he knew best. Like a broken record, once again Yo's incredible macro shone through as he came in late with a massive horde of cavalry to clean up the weakened foes and take home the first place prize for China.
From the wood at the back, forward, he's sending all the vills forward to take out this position from Licks.
Dave, all he needs to do is delay both Norwegians, and then Yo will carry the championship home for China. All Licks' job is right now is making life hell for MBL and Viper. MBL's villagers are not armored. He has not clicked up, Dave. He only has 5 on food. He might not even have the buildings. He just cannot click up because of the constant pressure, and now Yo's in castle. This is over.
Light cav coming in.
This has to be over, right? If Viper doesn't have a miraculous quick wall on the gold, even if he has a miraculous quick wall on the gold, it feels like Yo is just going to kill everything.
This looks like the end of Team Norway.
I think it
the
is.
favorites coming into this tournament.
Yo and Licks, they can be doubted. They're still going to get to tournament finals. They're so good. And the GG's called. What an amazing performance from Yo and Licks. Almost, I'd say about most of the games, except for maybe 1 or 2, it felt like the preparation was better, Dave. Not necessarily gameplay, because both teams are so good, but the strategies that they went for, maybe exception of the Team Acropolis game, felt better than Norway's strategies. I'm running out of words to describe Yo and Licks because they've been doing this for freaking years, man. So sick.
And it feels like, a lot of the time Licks, maybe a player who's hit and miss, but he was definitely all hit today. Licks brought his A game, and he enabled his ally Yo to boom behind on a lot of these victories and just steamroll from that point. I mean, what a fantastic showing. The teamwork is off the charts for these two. And, if we have another 2v2 tournament coming up, they're definitely the favorites heading into that.
It was clear that after an absolutely thrilling tournament, Mr. Yo and Licks used their strengths to redefine the 2v2 meta and storm their way past every foe they faced. After weeks of training and riveting competition, Team China were the champions of the 2v2 World Cup. Hello, thanks again so much for making it to the end of the video. I had an amazing time going back to this tournament and seeing what great stories it had to tell. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.